Thank you so much for joining us here on Joy NewsPrime. Let's begin from the NDC, where the NDC and 4 other political parties have sued the Electoral Commission over its decision to organize the upcoming limited voter registration exercise in the Commission's district offices. The NDC and these other political parties are asking the Supreme Court to order the EC to conduct the voter registration exercise at the electoral area in addition to the district office. More from that read shortly, but this suit comes on the back of mounting pressure on the EC to vary its plans. First, let's listen to former President John Mahama, who has been reiterating this demand in a public address.
I wish to add my voice to those who have called on the EC to reconsider its decision to restrict the registration exercise to its district offices only. Acquiring a voter ID card affirms one's right to vote, and access to a voter ID card should be easy and not limited by location. Every Ghanaian deserves the chance to exercise this democratic right. I strongly urge the Electoral Commission to facilitate the registration exercise in all its electoral areas to allow for easy access and a reduced burden on the citizenry in their quest to register. I challenge the Commission to be more transparent with the processes preceding the start of the limited voter registration exercise, the replacement of voter ID cards, and the transfer of votes.
Now, the Coalition of Domestic Election Observers, CODEO, has also waded into the discussion, warning a number of first-time voters could be disenfranchised if the registration process is not brought closer to the people. Albert Ahin is the national coordinator of CODEO.
To them there. You might say that there will not be many people, but remember we have had 2 years that we haven't registered people who have just turned 18. So the number might go up a little. So I think the EC has to reconsider its decision. Of course, unless maybe the government is saying they would not have funds to give them so they could meet these demands. That some people might not turn up for the registration at all, because I can't imagine somebody coming all the way from the Draft Island to Donkokrum to have registration done. And they will not do it.
Now, the NDC MP for Afram Plains North, Betty Crosby Mensah, is demanding that the Electoral Commission rescinds the decision to hold the upcoming voter registration exercise in its district offices. According to the MP, so many potential voters in her constituency will be disenfranchised because of its size and peculiar nature. The Afram Plains North constituency is made up of largely island communities, and the MP at a news conference argued the voters may not be able to afford the cost and risks to come all the way to the district office of the EC.
Friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen, the Afram Plains North constituency has the same geographical configuration as the Afram Plains North district of the Eastern region and has the largest landmass in the Eastern region with 2,341.3 square kilometers. In all, there are over 575 communities in the constituency, of which 222 are located on the voter lake. The constituency has 31 electoral areas and 127 polling stations. Out of this number, 13 electoral areas and 54 polling stations are located on various islands on the voter lake. Given the nature of the constituency, the only reliable means of transport are boats, canoes, and ferries. To access the district capital, constituents have to travel several kilometers on water and commute by road to Donkokrum. Constituents who live on Agodeke, for instance, that is in the Dija Island, have to travel by boat for close to 8 to 10 hours to get to the riverbank at Sukum or Bridgeano, and then continue for over 5 kilometers distance by road to the district capital, which is in Donkokrum.
Now, Kweku Asante of our Legal Affairs Desk joins us with more. Kweku, can we confirm if this particular suit has been filed and served on the Electoral Commission?
Yes, according to a statement put out by the National Democratic Congress, they have indeed filed this writ at the Supreme Court and have indeed served same on the Electoral Commission. And so that is the information we have gotten this evening. We've cited a copy of the writ itself. It has been endorsed by the seal of the Chief Justice of the Republic. And so the only thing we're yet to confirm if the Electoral Commission has received a copy of that. But according to the NDC Summit Gemfi, who have put out a statement just about an hour ago, they have served the Electoral Commission.
All right, so what are the claims of the NDC and what reliefs are they actually seeking?
Well, so Carlos, the NDC and these four political parties, Conventions People's Party, CPP, All People's Congress, APC, Liberal Party of Ghana, LPG, and the Great Consolidated People's Party, GCPP, are demanding that the Electoral Commission decentralizes the process. About a month ago, when the Electoral Commission announced the modalities for the limited voter registration, the Electoral Commission said it was going to hold this exercise in its district offices across the country. The parties and some stakeholders, including Kodeo, as you've heard from them, had been demanding that this process is decentralized to the electoral area level, the polling station level, so that enough more people can come out and come and register. But the Electoral Commission has not paid heed to those calls so far. In fact, if you listen to, and if you read the specifics of the declaration that the NDC are seeking, for instance, they say that they want a declaration that upon a true and proper interpretation of the Constitution, the Electoral Commission of Ghana is mandated by the Constitution to designate registration centers that are suitable and accessible to every eligible Ghanaian who is desirous of exercising his or her constitutional right to be registered as a voter. They are also demanding that the Supreme Court orders the Electoral Commission to actually decentralize this process to the electoral area level. That is the major order they are seeking. But even before this order may be granted or not by the court, the NDC is also seeking an interlocutory injunction. They want to stop the Electoral Commission from going ahead with the registration exercise until this suit is determined.
All right, so Kweku, do we know when this suit is actually scheduled to be heard?
Well, Carlos, so normally when you file the writ at the court, the endorsement will normally come with the date that application will be heard and how you are expected to prepare and show up in court. But according to the NDC, they say that in a bizarre twist of terms, the registrar of the Supreme Court informed them that they are unable to give them a date and that the registrar would have to go to the Supreme Court, liaise with the Chief Justice before a date can come out. And so the NDC are expecting on Monday that the registrar of the Supreme Court will now reach out to them and give them a date. As of now, we do not have any indication. Mind you, this registration exercise is starting on Tuesday. And if the Electoral Commission is served and the process does not unravel before the EC starts the registration process, it may be difficult to get any order from the court.
Thank you so much, my colleague Kweku Asante, giving us an update on that particular story. But moving on, lawyer for one of the police officers interdicted over alleged plot to remove the IGP says the action of the police hierarchy may be contemptuous. His comment come as the three police officers in the center of the leak tape saga, Commissioner George Alex Mensah, Superintendent Emmanuel Eric JB, and Superintendent George Lysander Asari, are interdicted while investigations continue. Kweku Osejiman, he is a lawyer for COP George Alex Mensah. He has been describing the decision by the Ghana Police Service as surprising. According to him, no form of invitation was extended to the COP to indicate an ongoing investigation or internal inquiry into the revelations made by the witnesses before the parliamentary committee probing the alleged tape of the persons plotting to oust the Inspector General of Police.
He has been served with the interdiction letter. This was done yesterday. Well, it comes as a surprise to us because, as you know, Parliament is investigating this matter to establish the facts. And some police officers have already appeared before Parliament. Others have also given indications of their willingness to give evidence before Parliament. So this is quite a surprise to us. But as it may, we have received the letter. We are also working on it to see our next course of action. Oh, he's fine. We have had conference with him early this morning, and we are in a few hours from now. I'm sure by close of day, you will also know what you make of this letter. What this is seeking to do is to gag other officers who have tried to come to the committee to give evidence, and which we think is an unhealthy development. You know, when you appear before a committee of Parliament, I mean, whatever answers you give to questions which are posed to you according to the Constitution cannot be used against you. It's only when you commit perjury. So if this is the course of action which the police now wants to take, it has a likelihood of making other people who want to come before the committee more or less a big issue in doing so.
Alfred Papadakwa is a lawyer for Superintendent George Asari. He says the interdiction is not only problematic but contemptuous, adding that witnesses before Parliament are immune and therefore the police service cannot take such actions.
We got wind of it last night. He has not been given any document suggesting that he's been interdicted. What I can say is that we have seen it on social media by the police, a publication by the police indicating that he's been interdicted. But as we speak, he's not been given any document confirming saying. It's quite surprising. You know, Parliament is conducting an investigation into the tape. Usually when witnesses appear before Parliament, they are immune from any action, whatever that they say. But for the police administration to use the same Parliament as the reasons for their interdiction, it's a bit problematic. Some may even argue that it could even be contemptuous, or contempt of Parliament, you know.
Meanwhile, former Director General of the Police Criminal Investigations Department, retired COP Bright Oduro, said the move is premature.
The matter has about 30 days or so more the service to serve. When already is on this retirement. As I said, I don't know whether it's the IGP or it is the police council that has instructed the IGP to interdict the officer. It is coming from the IGP. Then I think, in my opinion, I think it is premature. We should have allowed this investigation to continue, and then we see the outcome. And then, of course, if the officers had misconducted themselves somehow, then we would have called for service inquiry, asked for service inquiry to be conducted into their conduct. Where I sit, I don't see any criminality in what they did. What one can allude to is that probably they conducted themselves. But even then, it is probably after the investigation. Allegations have been made about the police administration, in particular about the IGP, which are being looked into. If these allegations are true, then where do we stand by interdicting them? By interdicting him. So I would have preferred that we conclude it, and then the police administration take a different line of action. He retired on the 16th of this month. And what do you call it? The discussion and the conversation took place while he was still in the Senate. Only does not mean that you are retired. And so they have taken that action, they have interdicted him because they knew, but they know that he is still an active officer, even though he is spending the time. And so he will retire on the 16th as a police. But what he did took place while he was in the service. So if we are right in interdicting, I don't see anything as a problem because he is still in active service.
Now, security analyst Dr. Adam Bona joins us via Zoom with more on this particular development. Dr. Bona, do you see this decision as premature, as been described by some?
Well, good evening. No, I don't see it as premature because then it's like saying that it is as at when you want to use the Police Service Act, you use it. The Police Service Act is very clear. The CI 76 is clear when it comes to interdictions. And so I want anyone to show me where if the police deems it fit to interdict someone, they would go ahead and wait or do it at the time. Which time would be appropriate? If you ask me in law, which time is appropriate? Do you say it is appropriate if you do it immediately, or you say it's appropriate if you do it in the middle, or it's appropriate if you do it in the end? If it is not appropriate now, who said it will be appropriate at the end of what Parliament is doing? And who said that you spoke to his lawyer? I heard him. The lawyer said it could be contempt of Parliament. I'm happy he said it could be contempt of Parliament. As far as I'm concerned, Atachia kept repeating that they are only inquiring into what took place and to make subsequent recommendations to the Right Honorable Speaker who constituted them to go into these matters. And remember, interdiction is not dismissal. Interdiction is so that you don't interfere with due process. And if we say that, then why did we not say that ACP Oduro, who is on interdiction whilst facing, courts, that is in contempt of courts? Why are we not saying that Colonel Gamali, who is, and the other officers who are facing, the courts for this, McPalm, the late McPalm's leaked tape, or, circumstances surrounding this coup, alleged coup plotters. If that is the case, then Dr. Oduro should be reinstated immediately. Because, we know when you talk about contempt of court, then if we are going to say that these persons cannot be interdicted by the police, Dr. Oduro was interdicted whilst facing court, not even Parliament. And so the fact is that the issue here are that these persons shouldn't be seen to be interfering in any process. And the police is part of the executive arm of government, and they operate with the CI-76. You have Parliament, that is the legislative arm of government. All right. And so they're supposed to work independently, even though they are supposed to collaborate. And so if you remember, I have actually made some, before the sitting started, I asked some of the members of the committee, I asked them, why is it that these persons are appearing before you whilst not on interdiction? What they told me was that they don't direct the police and the police council what to do. These were their exact words. So if you doubt this, kindly call what's the name? Honorable Atachia, call the other committee members and ask them whether it is their duty to instruct the police service council to interdict this person. That is not part of their mandate. So those who are speaking, I will say that, well, I can understand that, but I see it to be more of an emotional, moral something. But the law must apply. Like I'm saying, if you are asking that, the interdiction is wrong, then we must as well say Dr. Oduro's interdiction is equally wrong. I think that makes sense. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bona, for speaking to us here this evening on Joy News Prime. We're so grateful for your time. Now, moving on, the Ghana Police Service, under the leadership of IGP Dr. George Akufo-Dampare, the Ghana Police Service has started engaging with primary school pupils in Accra to educate them about policing. Now, the primary objective are to demystify the concept of policing and instill a sense of security consciousness within them regarding the immediate environment. Now, this initiative is part of strategies to add meaning to the mantra, police is your friend. There's more in the following report.
As part of the Snatch Them Young policing initiative recently introduced by the Ghana Police Service, pupils from the Police Depot Basic School were given a unique opportunity to interact and pose questions to IGP Akufo-Dampare, fostering a deeper understanding of the Ghana Police Service among the young minds. During this educational session, the pupils were provided with insights into the ranks and structure of the police service by COP Habiba Chumesi Sapon, the Director General of the Welfare of the Ghana Police Service.
Almost all of us here came as constables. Myself, the IG himself, he came as a what? And almost all of us here, Operation Director General, I can see their faces. Even your own Director Education, she came as a what? So you can come as a constable and you can also come as a graduate. Do you understand it? So the decision is yours.
COP Lydia Donko, Director General of the Police Professional Standards Bureau, also participated. addressing enquiries related to actions taken against errant officers and advising the pupils to encourage their parents not to engage in bribery.
So the good news also is that tell your parents, tell your relatives, tell all your friends you are not supposed to pay any bribe to any policeman or policewoman. Don't let anybody force you to pay anything where you are not supposed to pay it. And when that happens, know that you can report it to the nearest police station and action will be taken for you.
A subject that has stirred some tension within the service has to do with promotions. COP Enoch Educhum Bediako, Director General of Services, elaborated qualifications required for promotions.
It is a board which sit down to determine whether you should be promoted or not. And the board is headed by the Inspector General of Police. So, as I was saying, when you come, try to work hard. We are going, you are coming to take over from us. When you can put it in your, at the back of your mind that no, if I want to be promoted, I have to work very hard.
Following the interaction, the school pupils expressed their satisfaction and confidence in the Ghana Police Service, underscoring the success of the engagement.
The police people are doing their work 274, and Dr. Dan Parry don't take a rest because every time he's always working. So the president appoints the person who is very hard working to be the IGP.
I have learned that females can become IGPs and anyone can become an IGP because it has happened once and it can happen again. I have also learned some ranks in the police unit.
I've learned that to become an IGP, you have to pass through certain processes and you have to have a good behavior. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I've learned that they have numbers. They have two numbers. The first one is 191 and the second one is 18555. So if you see anything going wrong, you can report by calling those numbers. Yeah, I'll say thank you to him because of his good work. Say thank you. Yes.
This event marks a significant step in the Ghana Police Service's ongoing efforts, led by IGP George Akufu-Dampare and his team, to foster public trust and encourage the flow of vital information. For Joy News, Samuel Mbora.
We have more stories after this break. Stay with us. Welcome back and thank you so much for staying with us. Now, the gridlock on the Accra-Tema motorway has become a daily challenge that motorists grapple with due to the numerous life-threatening potholes of the stretch. A journey that once took a mere 10 minutes has ballooned into a grueling ordeal spanning hours. Frustrated motorists are demanding swift and immediate pothole repairs. There's more in the following report.
The Accra-Tema motorway has now become a traffic way. As you can see behind me, this traffic spans from the animal husbandry area all the way to the Ajay Kojo underpass. And this is a journey that ordinarily would have taken about 5 minutes. But as you can see the gridlock, it's taken over 30 minutes for drivers to cross from the Ajay Kojo underpass to the animal husbandry area. The reason is simple. The pothole, the numerous potholes on this particular stretch is actually causing what they call the snake effect. And so when they get to these potholes, they are forced to either switch lanes or slow down. And this is what is resulting in the traffic situation you see on the Accra motorway. We'll be speaking with some motorists to understand how this is actually impacting on their businesses, their movement day in, day out on the Accra-Tema motorway. Stewart is one of those drivers who constantly use the Accra-bound stretch of the Accra-Tema motorway. We're going to engage him to share his experience with us on this road today. So we see you stayed in the traffic for some time. Share your experience. How long have you been in the traffic and why?
Technically, I've been in the traffic like close to 30 minutes now, but not to cover a long distance too, due to the potholes on the motorway, and it's creating a lot of inconveniences. Me, I pray my road ready, so I expect the road to be fixed. This is the time that we need to account for these things, to get you right. These things are causing a lot of Come to think of it now, nowadays that we buy are very expensive now. How are the cost of this? Do you get it? Come to think, if someone is speeding on this road and hitting the portal, what will happen? Evidently, it's obvious that accident might happen. Do you get? So the state of the road, especially the motorway itself, is very bad. It's very, 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 very bad.
How I don't know what you do. Do you run Uber? How is this affecting your productivity in terms of the number of hours you spend on the motorway? Share that experience with us.
Yeah, I run Uber as a full-time driver. Yes. And trust me, sometimes it's very difficult to even have access of some of the road. You just have to maneuver, try to find your way out before you get to use the road, which is very bad. You get it? Which is very bad. Nowadays, things are very expensive. When you go to road DVLA to renew your roadway, it's very costly. Come to think of it, they use all this roadway venue for this construction of the road. It would have solved the problem easy. Now things are getting worse. Irrespective of the time that you spend on the road, no matter how you earn, you have to go and buy parts. Yes, that's the gospel fact. Whether you earn like 1,000 Ghana cedis a day, trust me, you can use more than half of the money to buy part to fix the car because the car is already spoiled.
So that's Stewart there. He is an Uber driver. He's been sharing his experience with us on this particular motorway. We're going to be engaging with another motorist to understand the kind of challenges this particular portal is posing to them. Emmanuel is another boat driver who wants to share his experience with us on this particular road. Share with us, how long have you been in this traffic?
Oh, more than 30 minutes now. Yes, and it's so terrible because each and every day I think I use this road not less than 5 times a day, and it's so difficult. Yes, and every week we almost go to our shops to change our parts, which is very bad. There's no work, and we can't decide not to use the car or do the work. So we are begging the authorities to do something about it. It's too bad for us. If I will not lie, this road is even older than me. Yes, and they should do something. We are begging. We are begging them. Yes.
So we understand the traffic spans from here to where? Can you share with us?
Right now, it's getting closer to, let me say, Ajay Kojo, even more than that, near to Ashama overhead. Yes. When it's like this, when it's evening like this, it's close to Ashama runabout. Yes.
Okay, and you say you use this road daily. So how is this impacting on the fuel you buy every day, spending so many minutes or hours in this particular traffic?
Oh, my brother, you know, each and every day, fuel prices are changing. And we don't charge prices on ourselves. And you are taking boats and a Uber all the time. You see how the prices is half of the taxis, their prices. So we don't enjoy it at all. We don't enjoy it. We are struggling a lot. Yes.
What would you want to say to the road ministry in terms of what they can do about the potholes on the Accra-Tema motorway?
Oh, in fact, if they are not ready or the budget is not about constructing the new road for us, at least they can fill the gaps, the potholes for us, because we can see they are using quota to patch a concrete, which is not bad. Like, it's too bad. It's not good at all. So if they can, at least how they were doing at particularly that junction or the gutter over there, the bridge, yeah, they use concrete to cast it, and now we are enjoying it. So if they can do the same thing, at least we will manage it like that. Yes.
Thank you so much, Ima. So that's Emmanuel. He's a boat driver, and he has been sharing his experience with us here on the Accra-Tema motorway. And so you can see the situation for yourself in the picture. And this is what some motorists go through every day, spending so many hours in traffic jam because of the potholes at this particular spot. Reporting from the motorway, my name is Carlos Kaloni for Joy News.
Let's now talk about results from our Ghana Potholes exhibition series. One of the roads we featured was the Odoko traffic light stretch. The road users can now heave a sigh of relief as a contractor is currently on site to give the road a facelift.
It was hell initially. I mean, unnecessary traffic congestion initially, but now I think there have been some improvements. But the fact remains that this is nothing to write home about, considering what we pay for roadworthy and those things. The roads keep destroying our cars. But there have been some improvement. We can only take it like that.
Thank my president. Now it done well for me, because the first time here is a rough, very, very rough. They're blocking the traffic and delay the cars too now. Now the station come here first time to talk to them. Then we leave. Then we are insulting them. Say we know they can't do anything. Now I see say you can't do everything for here. Here make genuine now. Now the way it is now is good. Now if we can't put for asphalt for in top, then we see say finish everything now.
So it means the work is not complete to you?
No, the work is going now. It's true for me.
This road has been here since not today. So we are thank God that they are starting doing construction on way. So what we are doing is we need to be hoping that it should go on there so that they will not just leave it just like that and go. So if it is good that they are constructing it.
So what else do you want them to do?
Well, nothing much. Like what we want is they should do the construction very well so that and do the correct solid one so that we can use it on natural streets. That's it.
So before, it's because of the portals on this very aspect of it, it normally causes a traffic jam. At times the green lights will be on, but because of the portal, it will take a very long period before you can cross to their side.
The road needs a new surface because here is the main road. I can say it's ECOWAS road, and when the portal comes like that, it's not good.
Now let's take you to the Ashanti region where several shops have been removed and artisans evacuated to make way for the Swame Interchange project in Kumasi. Affected artisans and traders, however, want the government to keep to its promise in fast-tracking project execution. Nana Boachi Yadom has more in the following report.
Several months of setbacks, traders plying all road networks leading to the Swame runabout have been evacuated. The exercise is to pave way for the construction of the long-awaited Swame Interchange project. Some affected artisans say their compliance with the eviction directive must be reciprocated by the government's fulfillment of completing the project on schedule.
Interchange, me who's on my interchange biao. Na interchange no mo yan so na about so mo yan no post office. Yes, aban say chairman sabonsu na ya no.
I can't see any interchange here. Did the government evict us because we threw water on a chairman sabonsu? Well, if we do not see the commencement of the project anytime soon, we will come back to make sales.
The person make can say sabana timi amaye dia wo kan a ye be san ba biom abetran be etre no a because ye nsen so we budan no wo budan ya de ache no ye be sa be sia de ne sa be foforo e mo hwe hwiase o mo nya hwe omboa ya adwe kase mu iso mai ya man time next month o ma ya be sa nyima nyina sa be sia se ye be to ka che o mo ano no o mo timi nya hwe mo ya omboa e kokodo John wo da dai. They have not done anything. Everything they say is a lie. We are giving them up to a month. We must see them working. We will bring back our things to begin our regular job. One area and don't we are my
interchange no wo ye no kaye maye ya de papa no wo ye na me de nu se we no ya da akoda ado enya de a won betimi de afe no so
help us, but I don't trust them. They can't complete it by the scheduled time. They will abandon it for the next government, just like what they did at Sofoline. It's only a strategy to let us vote for them again.
One day be ya abato e bedru nti and one day be twe ya say wo be interchange na santefo asa to Obama MPP
interchange no but some ba ya ma ye dia sramada monya ma ye na anipa bebre mutu o makom de nkofo pa bebre makote akurase.
If you have promised to do the interchange, please do it for us, because people have lost their jobs due to the eviction. It would be a disgrace if you don't complete the project.
Magazine for the impuntu. Yes, say, na ye. Enti ye pede se o ba be ye kwan na mayen
So they say na Kumasi na so.
We want progress, so we support this project. We have never opposed it, but we are pleading with the government to fast-track its construction.
Meanwhile, the Swami Municipal Assembly has started a public sensitization campaign on a planned road diversion ahead of the project construction takeoff. For Joy News, Nana Bwachitan Kwayatom, Kumasi.
Still in the Ashanti region, over 120 toilet facilities are expected to be handed over to public basic schools in the Greater Kumasi metropolitan area in November this year. The initiative under the Sanitation and Water Project is to improve access to toilet facilities at the over 1,000 public primary schools in the region. There's more in the following report.
Accessibility to convenient toilet facilities still remain elusive to many communities across the country, especially in schools. A 2017 report by the Ghana Education Service showed more than 7,400 public basic schools out of the over 20,000 lacked toilet facilities. Out of the number, nearly 1,500 schools in the Ashanti region are without toilet facilities. Under the Greater Kumasi Metropolitan Area Sanitation and Water Project, over 120 toilet facilities have been built for public basic schools in the metropolis awaiting commissioning in November. Engineer George Esiedu is the project coordinator of GKMA Sanitation and Water Project.
A number of the schools in Ghana do not access to improved toilet facilities, and if we are to achieve SDG 6, we need to ensure that everyone living anywhere have access to improved toilet facility. In Kumasi, we are about to hand over all the 129 facilities. We are almost at the point of handing over. All of them will be finished by November 2023, and so we don't want to wait for the facilities are handed over before we begin to think of how to maintain and operate these facilities.
Mr. Siedu says the new facilities have user-friendly features for the physically challenged, among other consumables to support girls during menstruation.
Our facility, we describe it as gender-friendly, gender and disability-friendly. So within the facility, we have a girl-child changing room where the girls, at the end of the month, where they have to, when they have their menses, they should be able to have access to a facility that they can conveniently change themselves and clean themselves. It is part of sanitation. And so menstrual hygiene management, it is part of sanitation. And then we've made provision for the physically challenged.
To ensure sustainability and maintenance of the facilities, the Ministry of Sanitation and Water Resources held a 3-day stakeholder forum with school management committees and parents-teacher associations in the metropolis. Program Manager at the Sanitation Ministry, Charlotte J., is advising a strict adherence to maintaining the facilities.
If they don't have toilet facilities in their schools, 5 days that they are menstruating, they will not come to school. So it defeats the purpose of girls' education and girls' empowerment. And if we have the facilities and we are not able to keep it or maintain it to stand the lifetime of the facility, then it becomes a challenge for the school. So what we are saying is that governments have a responsibility. The assemblies have to play their part.
We take a break. We return with Showbiz. Stay with us. Welcome back. Becky Beggs is here with Showbiz. Becky, what's in Showbiz tonight?
There's a lot in Showbiz tonight. Today is a very beautiful day. The Black Stars won.
Yay.
If you're celebrating your birthday, you're celebrating it with gospel musician Ohima Mercy.
Okay.
For those of you who celebrated your birthday yesterday, Dodu of our camera department, that's a belated birthday to you. But and so we're talking about, music. I mean, we can't stop talking about the music industry because there's a lot happening in the music industry. Yeah. And for those of you who are Sefa fans, there is something new coming, and it's featuring Freddie Motorway. Sefa is saying that she has a new song coming up this month.
Yes, and actually I traveled. I got back not so long ago. Like I was playing private shows, but now I'm about to release my third single of the year. Okay. It's titled Vibrations. Okay. Featuring Motorway. It's exclusive on on Joy Prime. Enjoying you. Enjoying you. Look at me. I don't even know what to say. Vibration. Yeah. What inspired the whole vibration thing? So you know when we were growing up, we used to listen to this song, Zo Plazo, Plazo, Zo Plazo, and I was like, I love that song. I want to do something with that song. But thankfully for me and my God and my team and everybody supporting, I was able to get the legendary original artist on the song. Yes, on the main song. My label is going to be mad because I told you, but you're my girl, so no problem. I'm going to tell you this. We call that skin. Yes. So when are you releasing it? Do we have a date? I know that it's this year. Definitely. End of the month. End of the month. I'm giving it to you end of the month. We can't wait, Sefa.
Definitely, we can't wait. But after winning big at the Headies recently, Ghanaian musician Black Sherif is up for another nomination. The musician has been nominated in the Best International Flow category at the 2023 BT Hip Hop Awards. Black Sherif was nominated alongside other acts from around the world, including the late AK from South Africa, Centra C from the UK, Gazo from France, J. Haas from the UK, KO from South Africa, Major RD from Brazil, Niho from France, Sampa the Great from Zambia, and Tasha and Tracy from Brazil. Well, so congratulations to Black Sherif right there, making Ghana proud. Sarkodie was actually nominated in that same category some years back. He won that, and we're hoping that Black Sherif will be winning that as well. We have an advice from Wendy Shea. So on Joy FM's Twitter Spaces, there was a conversation about, you know, how the industry has been treating female in the music industry. So
in Ghana, actually.
In Ghana. And Wendy Shea says that hard work isn't enough. You need like a spiritual backing to be able to excel in this music business.
Get it twisted, but every artist you see on top is never doing what they're doing carnally. I go by the mantra, work hard and have faith. Hard work goes hand in hand with faith. So after working hard, going to the studio, recording songs, doing whatever you do, you should also seek for spiritual backups. None of us do what we do carnally. It's either you are in the light or you are in the darkness. That is what a lot of musicians or the underground musicians don't know. It's either you believe in God or Jesus Christ or whatever you believe in to order your steps for you. I mean, if you do with your natural strength, you will get tired and then you will get discouraged. But then if you believe and have faith in whatever you have faith in, your God will order your steps for you.
Of course, yeah. Whatever it is that you believe in, stick to it, and that God will order your steps for you. That would be all for Showbiz here.
All right, thank you so much, Becky, and that's all we have time for. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. My name is Carlos Keloni. Have a great evening.